Good evening, everyone. So, as I was saying before we started the recording, the information that I am going to share with you began coming in very small nuggets several weeks ago. And it was not a daily download. But whatever I received, I began to use it immediately. I began making use of this truth in my sessions with my clients, in the energy work with myself. And I found that as I was using the information that was coming through, the downloads started getting longer, far deeper, and they were taking place on a daily basis. I then began to realize that the downloads would also come during my sessions, where I would be very clearly guided about the chakric system of someone I would be working with. And I would be given suggestions to work with the chakric system in very different ways, in ways that I had not worked before. I began to realize that somewhere universal consciousness had opened a door for me and was downloading information which I found really groundbreaking. And then a few weeks ago, the downloads came almost through the day. I would wake up and in less than an hour, the downloads would start. I would be preparing to go to bed and the downloads would start. Through the day, the downloads were almost constant. I was finding it difficult to keep up with the downloads. I was also finding it challenging to understand the depth of the information coming through. I genuinely had very little time to understand the information, to process it, to assimilate it. All I was doing was recording it. Sometimes I would send voice memos to myself. Sometimes I would type them out on my computer, but I just kept recording. What was even more challenging was the fact that the downloads didn't come in a thematic or structured manner. I would be given information of X, and then a few hours later, information that had nothing to do with X but was about Y. And I was just recording things as they came. Till JadeFire said, "You have enough to share." For me, this was something that I was not ready for, because I had not put it all together in a manner where even I would be able to understand everything. The downloads haven't stopped yet. They are still on, which means what I'm sharing with you is what I received a few weeks earlier. But since then, I have downloaded even more. But now, the information coming through in the downloads has changed. Now what is coming through are very, very deep, meditative rituals, energy exercises. It's not information that is setting a foundation. I think that part for the present has been done, which I'm going to share with you. I hope in these 2 days I'll be able to share all of it. Over the last several days, I have just been downloading exercise after exercise, meditative ritual after meditative ritual. A large part of these exercises focus upon EFT, which is tapping, and Ho'oponopono. JF has informed me that the reason for this download, the reason for this information, and the reason for these exercises is really just one. And that reason is elimination of karmic templates from within our energies field. According to JF, as long as there are karmic templates existing within us, whatever chakric healing we do, whatever inner child healing we undertake, none of this shall really work to any significant extent. We may find, which is so true, we may find a bit of relief for a short period of time, but then the patterns and the loops and the conflicts, whether they are outside or inside, begin again. And he says that till the karmic templates are present, this will continue to happen. We will not be able to free ourselves from the patterns and loops. We may be able to reduce their intensity, yes, but we shall not be free of them. He further goes on to say that as long as the karmic templates are present within the energy field, the soul contracts that we have come with, the soul contracts that are a huge part of our soul blueprint, cannot be eliminated, cannot be renegotiated, because the only reason, and this was for me a huge aha moment, the only reason why you and I enter into soul contracts is to aid us in eliminating karmic templates. So if our karmic templates are not eliminated or are not in the process of elimination, the soul contracts cannot disappear from our lives because their work is not done. JF says that yes, it might be that a soul contract with a certain individual may come to an end because of that individual's unique soul journey. But very soon, that contract will be replaced by another individual who comes in, joining with us in a similar contract. And that is why he says we find patterns repeating with different people in our lives. The same patterns go on with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 because all of these are soul contracts telling us, hey, the karmic template is still very much present within your energy field. So if we want liberation from soul contracts, we have to address the karmic templates. This is the shift in the healing and inner child work that I have been seeing in the past few weeks. Clients may come for inner child healing, but JF takes us into exercises to clear the karmic templates. Because as he says, if the templates are present, the inner child cannot be healed completely. And so the third part of this two-part session is going to take place on November 2nd. And I shall send you the link. In that third part, I shall be sharing with you the energy exercises to clear the karmic templates. Now, there are just too many exercises to take you through in a 2-hour session. JadeFire will guide me as to which of these exercises I can share with you online so that we can do it together as a collective consciousness. And there will be others that I shall pre-record and I shall put them up on my YouTube channel for you to access as and when you desire. Because none of us will be able to do all of these exercises at one time. So let us start with the core of what has come through. Most people, which of course included me as well, think that chakras are energy wheels. And JadeFire absolutely debunked that myth and said that is not true. It was a version of the truth that humanity was given at a certain point in time because humanity as a collective was not ready to receive the fullness of the truth. But the truth is that chakras are not energy wheels at all. In fact, chakras are not even points in our body. JadeFire calls them as zones, areas, not discs, not spinning wheels, not separate points. They are zones in our body. And they are zones that overlap with each other. They are zones that carry a particular and unique vibration that is specific to that zone. The chakric system as a whole is what he called a holographic field of energy. What does that mean? For anything to be holographic, it means that even the smallest part of the whole actually has the whole within it. It's like a drop of the ocean is not separate from the ocean. It has the entire ocean within it. So also our chakras are not separate discs or wheels. Being zones of specific vibratory energies, the zones overlap with each other and are constantly emitting energies that are moving outwards into each other. Which means that the zone of the root chakra does not only have the predominance of its own frequency, but it also has the frequencies of all other zones as well. And this is true for all the chakras. And therefore, JadeFire says, you very rarely need to work on more than 1 or 2 chakras. Because if you work on 1 chakra or 2 chakras, which hold the strongest aspect of the karmic templates, you shall actually be clearing the old energies from the chakric holographic energy field, and you shall be implanting new energies. So we don't really need to work with all energies at all times. For me, this was a huge aha moment. He then reminded me that some years ago, he had again downloaded a bit of information about the chakric system. Even then, that information is available on my YouTube channel, so you can go there. I will put the link and you can access that information. Many of you already know about it. And that information was the 9 sacred codes of healing. At that time, JadeFire had made me understand again that there are different layers of energy in the chakric system. In fact, he went on to say that our chakric system consists of 9 distinct layers. Again, these layers have their own frequencies that make them distinct, but no layer is separate from the others. So again, here is the same information of the holographic field of energy. We now come to the 9 layers of the chakric system. Very briefly, I'm not going to share the codes with you. As I said, that entire video is available on my YouTube channel, the 9 sacred codes. Please do go and watch it. Look at the codes. I have been using the codes and I find them very useful. We are going to discuss the 9 layers from the point of view of karmic templates. Because this entire information that JF is downloading over the past several weeks, his only focus seems to be clearance of karmic templates. So we come to the first layer, which is the physical layer. It is the layer that connects us to matter. It is the layer of energy that makes us into matter, that gives us solidity, that gives us denseness. That physical layer stores karmic templates. And now this is where I would like you to write down, so that in case you resonate with 1 or 2 of these, you know, aha, this is for me. So layer number 1 holds within it the information, the energy, and the energy imprints of templates involving past life physical injuries, past life accidents that we may have suffered from, past life memories of famine that we may have gone through, past life memories of physical displacement where we could have lost our home or our homeland. It holds energy imprints of physical, bodily trauma that we could have gone through. If any of these events in our past incarnations were not resolved by us, were not healed by us, those energy imprints are present even today in our chakric system, in the first layer of the chakric system. Now we come to how does it show up in this lifetime? So how will I know if I have those karmic templates, karmic imprints? It will show up as chronic physical issues. It will show up as certain issues with the body where you could have problems with movement or problems with physical balance or inability to use a certain limb or a certain organ. It could show up as an acute sense of body shame. It could show up as an acute need, almost like an obsessive need to stay healthy, to stay fit. It could show up as clumsiness, where someone is constantly dropping things or tripping over things, where it is a little more than what one would expect in a person. It could show up as being hyper vigilant all the time, unable to relax, unable to rest, unable to have fun. There is a constant red alert within your system. If any of these resonate with you, you know that you need to work with the physical layer number one. My YouTube channel and the video that I've put there has the codes there and how to use it. We now go to the second layer. The second layer is how the energies of people, how the energies of the world around you affected you from the time of birth to the time when you were 7 years old. JF says this second layer is also very significantly affected by what the fetus goes through in the womb. Now, what are the karmic templates held in this layer, the second layer? The karmic templates are past life energy imprints of environmental conditioning, which means you are unworthy, you are poor, you don't deserve money, you don't deserve love. All of this past life echoes of environmental conditioning. It also involves past life energy imprints of very harsh childhoods that we may have led in certain incarnations, with lack of nurturing, unsafe or dysfunctional family systems. All of these energy imprints and karmic templates lie in the second layer. How will they show up? They will show up for you by you always feeling, I'm not wanted by others. People don't really care about me. People don't really want me around. I am not needed by anyone. Even that feeling that I am in the wrong body, I am in the wrong family, I am in the wrong community, I am in the wrong country, where you just don't feel that I belong to myself or I belong to others. That is how these karmic templates will show up. If you resonate with any one of these, then the second layer needs to be healed. Then we come to the third layer, which is, how did you as a child react, as a child in this incarnation? How did you as a child react to the outside world, which of course starts with the family and then goes outwards to school and society? So how did you as a child, till the age of 7, till the age of 7, how did you react to the outside world? This third layer has the karmic templates, holds the karmic templates of being hyper reactive. Those who are very, very reactive, who are unable to hold on to reactions, who can go from 0 to 10 in a jiffy. This is the layer that needs healing. I completely understand this layer because I have worked so much with this layer in the past few weeks since JF has started giving me this information. Because I know that my earlier hyper reactivity is definitely due to what my world was at the time of birth until I was 7 years old. It holds karmic templates of avoidance, not wanting to address issues, sweeping things under the carpet, not having the courage to confront. It holds karmic templates of being very resistant to change. So obduracy, stubbornness, rigidity, all of these are karmic templates held in the third layer. Also held in the third layer are patterns of aggression, karmic patterns of aggression, karmic patterns of people pleasing, wanting to do what others want us to do, wanting to be what others want us to be, people pleasing. The karmic templates of deep fear, deep anxiety, the karmic templates of constantly trying to keep the peace and not confront, not be confrontational in any way. All of these are held in the third layer. How will this layer show up for you in your current incarnation? Where your emotional responses to the trigger is not proportionate. The trigger may be this small, but your response is this huge. Or exactly the reverse, where even though there is a big trigger, your reaction is almost numbness, no reaction whatsoever. So this shows that you're cutting off from your normal reactions. If there is a very critical mindset, if there is a very judgmental mindset, right? Whether it is criticism and judgment about yourself or about others, this also is a manifestation of the karmic templates held in the third layer. Then we come to the fourth layer. The fourth layer has energies of our old beliefs and the current beliefs, energies of what we have thought and how we have thought, are patterns of thinking in the past, which of course are now being passed on to us in this incarnation. The karmic templates in the fourth layer would be templates of beliefs like, I am utterly powerless, I am not safe, truth is dangerous, it is safe for me to lie, love always abandons and hurts. If you have all of these kind of negative beliefs, they are held in the fourth layer and they can make you mentally rigid. They can ensure that these constant karmic patterns of thinking affect your daily life, whether it is at work, whether it is at home, whether it is in relationships. The fourth layer is also a layer that has to be healed if you are an extremely judgmental person. So third layer and fourth layer needs to be healed if you are a very judgmental person, if you are a critical person. But the fourth layer needs to be healed more specifically if you are a person who keeps secrets. You are very secretive about your life, even things that are not really material. You will kind of, tell one person and say, don't tell this one, and you indulge in all of these activities. Then that means the fourth layer is heavily burdened by karmic templates, which you need to work with. Then we come to the fifth layer. This is the layer of feelings and emotions from past incarnations, which make us feel the way we feel now. This is very, very important to understand. We hold feelings and emotions, we hold beliefs from our ancestral past as well. So, when we are talking of karmic templates to be cleared, it is not only karmic templates that we have personally built up, but they also include karmic templates that we have in our soul blueprint. We have undertaken to clear those karmic templates which are ancestral in nature. The fifth layer has a tremendous burden of karmic templates that are ancestral in nature. The fifth layer will have karmic templates of shame, of grief, of guilt, of rage, of despair, unprocessed emotions from the past that have that are present within you, but somehow you can't figure out why these are present within you. You may feel a sense of acute despair, let us say, but you don't understand why this despair is present. It could very likely be that this despair is a karmic ancestral template within you. You need to then work with the fifth layer. We come to the sixth layer. The sixth layer is how we connect with the non-physical world, how we are influenced by the non-physical world. What is our connection, let us say, with our own soul? What is our connection with the non-physical realms of energy? Do we even consider them to be real, or are we uh, believing that nothing non-physical even exists? So the sixth layer records all our interactions with the non-physical world over incarnations. For example, you might have been a very, very well-known, renowned guru in a certain incarnation. But if due to that position that you held, you became corrupt, or you became arrogant, or you became egotistical, then that karmic template is held in the sixth layer, which you have to eliminate, which you have to work with. Of course, our spiritual gifts also are carried over. I now was able to make sense when something was told to me over 30 years ago, when I started this journey. A strong medium looked at me and she said, you are a telepathic teacher and a telepathic messenger over multiple lifetimes. You have done a lot of telepathic work. Your connection with the higher realms is very deep. And at that time, I didn't know, A, how did she know this about me? And B, I didn't know that this could be true. And it is now that I realize that, yes, those spiritual gifts, those spiritual strengths that I had garnered in past incarnations, I have brought with me. Those are the gifts we get through the sixth layer. But if we want to eliminate the karmic templates in the sixth layer, where it could show up as being very scared of, oh, I don't want to dabble in any of this, or people feel very scared. What if something bad happens to me if I try and connect to my master? Um, when there is psychic sensitivity of an acute nature, where you are so psychically open that you can't protect yourself, that is something that is a huge karmic template. You have to allow yourself to be psychically strong, but you open yourself only when you will it. If you are allowing anyone willy-nilly, any energy willy-nilly to come to you, then you're doing yourself great harm. And you need to heal this sixth layer. Then we come to the seventh layer. The seventh layer is the actual, JadeFire says, you can heal any other layer, but with the other layer, seventh layer must always be healed. The seventh layer is the layer of your karmic patterns, your actions that have caused karma, your words that have caused karma, so this layer, the seventh layer, is a very personal karmic layer. It doesn't have ancestral information in the seventh layer. So if supposing you are working with the first layer, you have to work with the first and the seventh. If you wish to work with the fourth layer, you have to work with the fourth and the seventh. And yes, you can work with multiple layers all at once, not an issue. So when we do the workshop on November 2nd, JF has also given me exercises of how to work with these layers as well. I will share it with you at that workshop. Now we come to the eighth layer. The eighth layer is really a layer that is a very positive layer. It is the layer of alchemy and manifestation. It really holds very, very few karmic templates. The only few karmic templates that it could hold are disbelief in manifestation. So otherwise, the eighth layer and the ninth layer hold no karmic templates at all. So we very rarely work with the eighth and ninth layer to heal them, because they really have nothing in them to heal. The eighth layer is where now, this is something new that JF told me. The eighth layer is where modalities like Reiki, Ho'oponopono, EFT, pranic healing, all of these layers start their healing work from the eighth layer of the chakric system. And from that eighth layer, they then emit the energies into the other layers. So whatever modality we work with, JF explains that even though we may not be aware of it, the healing energy is always first gathered by the eighth layer. This is where healing starts, and then those healing energies are emitted out to the other layers. And the ninth layer we never work with at all. The ninth layer is the layer of bliss, where you connect with the highest version of yourself. For anyone to even reach that ninth layer, we have still, all of us, a lot of work to be done. That ninth layer cannot be accessed if we have any karmic templates. If we have even a small degree of karmic templates left, we cannot access that ninth layer at all. Now we will go on to how these energies, karmic templates, and so on, how do they interact with the soul? How do these layers interact with the soul? But before I do that, is there anyone who wants to ask me any question right now? Because I know this is a lot of information. I'd rather go slow than give you all the information which you do not understand. So if you have anything that you want to ask, please put it on the chat. Yes, Lamia, you wanted to ask something, please.
Yeah, hi, Elle.
Yeah.
You said eighth floor is positive layer of alchemy, and I missed that.
Manifestation.
Thank you.
Anyone else wants to ask any questions, anything that is confusing you? No? Should I continue then, if everyone is okay with that?
Just 1 second. This is Vidya.
Yes.
So I have this doubt about the eighth layer. Our holds our disbelief in manifestation.
Yeah.
Would that also include our own lack of self-worth that leads to
No, it's not lack of self-worth, comes in another layer. This is disbelief.
this absolute disbelief of like,
Yeah.
right.
Cannot happen.
Got. Thank you.
Elle,
Yes, Shiraz.
Shiraz here.
Yeah.
Elle, what if there is a block to manifestation?
Of course, there is a block, and the blocks are our karmic templates. Of course, there is a block.
And that's
Shiraz.
the eighth?
No, darling. The eighth layer has no blocks. The eighth and ninth layer are completely clean. They have no blocks. The blocks do not exist there. That's what I said. Your karmic templates are stored in layers 1 to 7.
So
Right?
if we think that there is a block, which
Then
is
you
the
have
layer?
to find out which of these layers is predominant. The truth is, Shiraz, you'll really find that layer 1 is working for you, layer 4 is working for you, layer 5 is also there. So you see, we are influenced by multiple layers because naturally these layers are all running through us. So it will be that you will find 1 or 2 layers are predominant, but it doesn't mean that the other layers don't affect you. Yeah? Okay.
And so
Yes.
if he's talking about 9 layers,
Yes.
this is even going beyond the basic 7 chakras.
No, so that is even at that time JF had told me, and he has reiterated again, Sangeeta, that do not look at that is an old belief, that is an old information that is not valid anymore as the human energies have evolved. The chakras are not 7 discs. There is nothing like 7 chakras existing in our body. Yes, there are 7 zones of energy. And running through all of these zones are 9 layers of energy. Right? So there are 7 zones, if you want to kind of make it very simplistic, but of course, I will be sacrificing a bit of truth due to that. Think of it as horizontal zones, which are the chakric zones. They are not wheels, they are the zones. So you have these horizontal zones of energy, which we have called the chakras, but running through these horizontal zones, through the central channel, are 7 distinct layers of energy. Now, when you put it together, in fact, if you can all shut your eyes for just a moment and try to visualize it, you have 7 bands and you have 9 vertical bands, 7 horizontal bands and 9 vertical bands. Can you see that it is creating a lattice, a network of energy? And that network of energy is what JadeFire says is the holographic energy field.
Thank you.
So we've already discussed that there are no distinct, no separate wheels of energy. So the first thing we have to do when we start working with the chakric system now, whether it's ours or for others, is to eliminate that old thought and understand that we are working with a whole field of energy. We are not working with one disk of energy at all. This field of energy is a continuous field of energy. There are no breaks. There is no separation in this field, whether it is the root zone, sacral zone, solar plexus, there is no separation. And there's no separation even in the 9 layers at all. What differentiates them a little bit, even though it's one continuous field of energy, what differentiates them a little bit are the different frequency vibrations in each of these layers. The layers themselves have frequency vibrations that differ, but the zones also have frequency vibrations that differ. So now we have 7 different vibratory frequency zones and 9 different vibratory frequency layers. Suddenly, the chakric system becomes this massive energy field rather than those 7 chakras that we found so simple to understand. So I asked JF, then what about the colors? Are the colors not valid at all? And he says the colors are valid for only one reason. He says that you know already that every color is the result of a certain vibration. When there are certain vibrations, when certain energies vibrate at a certain frequency, they release that color. Because the root zone vibrates at a certain frequency vibration, it emits the color that we have called red, and so on. So the colors are still valid, but he gives us an understanding of why they are red or blue or green or yellow or violet, because of the frequency vibrations of the energies in that zone. Yes. Now, the soul uses the zones and the soul uses the layers for its own use. The first thing that absolutely blew my mind was when JF told me that the soul resides in this holographic energy field. That this lattice that we have just visualized, this network of energy that we have just visualized, is the energy of the soul. He made me understand that all of this while, whenever people have spoken of the soul, and if you have asked them, what is the soul? Where is the soul? No one had that answer. The answers were abstract, the answers were generic. The answer is the soul is your holographic field of energy. So what you have within you running as energy is your soul energy. Your soul resides in the chakric system. That chakric system is where your soul vibrates, where your soul dwells. Now, this was interesting. Our soul has the incarnated part of our soul. I'm not talking about the higher self, right? I'm talking about the incarnated part of the soul, which has taken multiple incarnations. In these multiple incarnations, our soul has faced many, many experiences. It has had easy deaths, it has had tumultuous deaths, it has faced illness, it has faced war, it has faced famine, it has faced accident, it has faced love, it has faced happiness, it has faced abundance, it has faced the good and the not so good. all of these events, all of these experiences change the frequency vibration of the soul. Every single thing that we experience changes the frequency vibration of the soul minute to minute. Your frequency vibration of the soul at present is changing even as it hears this new information and goes, oh my God, I didn't know it. Or you may be going, yes, this makes sense to me. Why do I know this? How do I know this? There is a remembrance of the deeper truth. So as we function every day, our soul is changing its frequency vibrations. And that is why JF says it is so important that a part of your day be spent in stillness, silence. A part of your day be spent in prayer or chanting. A part of your day be spent in some kind of meditative exercise in whatever way you find it comfortable. A part of your day has to be spent in physical activity. So everything that we are doing in the day is changing the frequency vibrations. As JF says, those days when you are feeling elated, when you're feeling happy, when you're feeling productive and creative, and you go to sleep feeling that was a good day, your soul is vibrating very, very fast. Its energy vibrations have become very, very high. But then there are those days when you are angry, when you are confused, when you are grieving, when you are sad. Your soul's vibrations densify, they slow down. And he says you have to become aware that this is how you create a situation around you. When your soul's energy slows down and it starts vibrating, let us say, to align with anger, to align with grief, to align with loss, to align with scarcity, because your soul's vibration has gone down to that level, you will now be able to attract only those energies from the outside that align with the soul's energy. Yes, this is another one that I have written here, important. Because the chakras are not discs, because the chakras are not wheels of energy, the zones do not expand or contract unless they are required to. For me, this was a huge aha, because I have always thought, oh, I'm angry, my solar plexus must have contracted, or I'm sad, my heart chakra must have contracted. Today I have gone out with my friends, so my heart chakra is expanded. And he says that is absolutely not true. That is absolutely not true. Understand first, and I'm going to keep repeating this, the chakric energy is the energy of your soul. It is your soul. The chakric energy, that lattice, is your soul. Your soul determines whether the zone expands or contracts. And it has absolutely nothing, for me, this was a huge aha. It has absolutely nothing to do with the event or my reaction to the event. And I like, how can this be true? How can this be true? How can my reactions not affect my energies? This is what I asked GF. How can it be true? And he explained it. Your soul, now I'm going to use the chakric energy as synonymous with the soul. Please remember that. Your soul has complete knowledge of every lifetime that it has lived. Your soul has complete knowledge and awareness of every belief and every feeling and every wound that still needs to be assimilated, processed. Your soul has the complete awareness of every single karmic imprint that has imprinted itself upon the soul's energy. Where do you think the karmic templates are? JadeFire asked me. And I said, well, I don't know, but I assumed they were in our emotional field or mental field. And he says, where do you think your emotional field and your mental field is? And I had no real answer. He says, all of this that you have learned as keeping things separate, this is my emotional field, this is my mental field, this is the karmic template, they are all one energy, and that is the energy of the soul. They are all one energy. What you have called, he said, the emotional field is the soul's awareness of all its feelings and emotions from all its incarnations. What you have called the mental field is the awareness of your soul of all its thought patterns and all its belief system from all its incarnations. The karmic templates are the energy imprints, events, experiences from past incarnations that have been very strong, have imprinted themselves upon the soul's energy. He says, think of it as taking some seal and putting it on paper. That seal becomes the imprint on that paper. And unless you peel off that seal, that paper will continue to have that imprint. And that is exactly what happens with our energy imprints. Certain events, certain experiences are so strong and cannot be assimilated in one incarnation. Some are so strong that they have not been assimilated in multiple incarnations. Are these energy imprints upon the soul? These are the karmic templates. The soul carries the karmic templates within itself. They are not separate from the soul. It carries these imprints upon its own energy. Now, the soul is aware of your soul blueprint. This is very important. Your soul is aware of your soul blueprint, obviously, because your soul blueprint is its own blueprint, right? The soul blueprint is not the blueprint of Ellaeenah, the physical human being. The soul blueprint is the blueprint of Ellaeenah, the soul, who is in the body of this physical person called Ellaeenah. Your soul blueprint is the blueprint of your soul energy, which is residing in this physical body that you have today. So your soul is fully aware of the soul blueprint completely. There is nothing that your soul is not aware of. JadeFire calls this awareness, which he has not yet elucidated. I'm sure he will do it in the future. But he calls this awareness of the soul blueprint, he calls them the original light codes of the soul. In the blueprint, we have awareness that this is the original soul without the karmic templates, without the emotional fields, without the mental fields. It is the energy of pure, what do I call it? Pure divinity, pure cosmic energy that has been unsullied by anything. These are the soul's light codes. If one of or more of these codes are not active within us, it is because of the karmic templates. The soul, when it creates the soul blueprint, looks at the various light codes that are not active. Think of it, JF says, as 1,000,000 light bulbs. The best way is for these light bulbs to be all shining brightly, but they don't. There are a few hundred light bulbs that are either very dim or some of them are not shining at all. The soul looks at all of these light bulbs that are dim or not shining, and it decides, okay, this light bulb, this light bulb, this light bulb, this light bulb. So let us say, again, being very simplistic, let us assume it decides these 10 light bulbs. There are 100 that are dim, but I am choosing these 10 light bulbs, which I will try in this body to make bright again. Now, if you're going to make those light bulbs bright again, what is dimming those light bulbs has to be eliminated. What is dimming those light bulbs are the karmic templates. So the soul knows exactly which light codes it has chosen to work upon. The soul knows exactly which karmic templates it has chosen to work upon. Because the soul is residing in this lattice work of energy that is within us, this awareness is a constant awareness in our being. It is constant. Our brain doesn't know it. Our chakric system, soul energy, knows it at every moment in time. The soul is in constant touch with the higher soul. You may not even be aware of this. You don't need to sit in meditation for your soul to be in touch with your higher soul. Your soul is in constant, unbroken touch with your higher soul. When divine timing makes it feasible, the higher soul will inform the soul, now is the time for this karmic template to become active so that it can be eliminated, so that this person can be healed. As soon as that divine instruction is received by the soul works through the lattice work of the chakric system. Interesting. And what it does is it either expands the zones or contracts a few of them. Let me give you an example. Let us assume one of my karmic templates is the template of aggression, right? That karmic template is held in layer number 3, but it is also held in the solar plexus zone area. Okay, the zone of energy which we have called the solar plexus. As soon as my higher self gives instruction to the soul, time for this karmic template to be eliminated, the soul will contract the solar plexus zone. And for me, when I was told this, I said, but should it not expand it? Because then it helps me to release. And JadeFire said, no, you are living in a human world. And in the human world, your learning comes through experiences. All learning in the human world only comes through experiences. That is what we as a human race, we have chosen the cosmic ray 4 and 5, and so we have to live that. So the soul will contract my solar plexus zone. When it contracts my solar plexus zone, the higher soul energy, which is constantly bathing the soul, will not go into the solar plexus region. It will enter the solar plexus region as a mere trickle. What will be now prominent in that contracted solar plexus zone is the energy of ego. JadeFire completely put me on my head when he said, ego is the soul's greatest support system. The ego is the soul's greatest support system. And I was blown by this. And he says, were it not for this ally, the ego, which is the ally, were it not for this ally, the soul would not be able to create events that would be experiences and opportunities of learning. So as soon as the zone contracts, the higher soul energy becomes just a trickle and the ego energy becomes predominant. Do not forget this other aha. The ego is the soul's greatest ally. When the ego energy is predominant in that zone, it immediately draws from the external events, experiences, and energies that align with that ego energy. So if the karmic template that I need to work upon at a certain point in time is aggression, the ego energy will change itself, and in order to draw in the energy of aggression from the outside, thus creating an experience for me. And that experience could be, let us say, an employer who is very aggressive, or a child who is very aggressive, or a parent who is very aggressive, or a stranger on the road who is very aggressive. But that external will give you an indication of the karmic template your higher soul is urging you to release. JF gave another hugely important statement to me. He says, when you call people mirrors, they don't mirror who you are. They mirror the karmic template that you have to release. And I said, oh my God, that completely changes everything. People are not mirrors of who we are. They are mirrors of the karmic templates that we need to release. When you see that, when you hear that statement, how can you then follow it up by blaming someone? How can I then blame that aggressive employer, or aggressive spouse, or aggressive parent, or aggressive stranger? Because they have come in, drawn by my ego energy in the solar plexus. They have come in to stand before me as mirrors, to say, hey, eliminate the karmic template of aggression. This is how the soul expands and contracts the zone. Now, supposing there is an employer of mine who is aggressive, right? I have two choices in front of me. I either react or I respond. If I react, I am reacting from those old karmic patterns. I am reacting from those old energy imprints. I am reacting from those templates. As soon as I react in accordance to those energy imprints, my karmic templates get even stronger. But I have another option. I have the option of wisdom. Information like this coming to me, which tells me, here's this aggressive person who has come in order for you to clear a karmic template. Are you going to blame that person? Are you going to judge that person? Are you going to condemn that person? Or are you going to turn inwards and immediately begin work on eliminating the karmic template that this person is mirroring? And this person who is mirroring the karmic template for you, for me, for all of us, that person is known as a soul contract. Every soul contract comes for only one reason: to help us eliminate our karmic templates. When we respond with wisdom instead of reacting to a situation, if I respond with wisdom, with understanding, instantly the soul expands the solar plexus chakra, releasing the ego energy. And as soon as the solar plexus zone expands, higher soul energy floods in and gives me the inner power, gives me the inner strength, gives me the inner faith in myself. I can work on this karmic template and shift it entirely. And aggression will turn to love. This is how the soul works. And this is what JF told me about expansion and contraction of the chakras. Okay, before I go any further, anything you want to ask me regarding this? Someone has put up such a beautiful picture. Yes, Lamia, I guess so. You're right. But the only thing I would make a change in is the light zones are much broader. Here it is still showing as little points of light, and they are not points of light. They are broad bands of light. I know, Azmi, I was as zapped as you are right now when I was receiving all of this. Yes, Tushita.
So my question is, like, how do we identify, or are you going to be explaining that later? Like, how do we identify bases, like certain experiences, which karmic templates, like, we're kind of like,
Yeah, so I will be going into that
like
in a little more detail. Of course, I shall, yes. But the easiest way to identify it is if there is an event in your life, right? Ask yourself, what are you judging that event as? You're judging that person, let us say, as dishonest or corrupt or unfair or aggressive or mean or nasty, or, as soon as you have given it a label, that's your karmic template.
Okay.
As soon as you've given it a label. So that politician that we may be judging as corrupt,
Right.
he or she is my mirror of the karmic template of corruption within me.
Okay.
And that makes a lot of sense to me, Tushita, because when you have the same person, one person sees X as fantastic, really great. The other person sees as dishonest and corrupt and mean and whatever. Mirrors of the karmic templates, mirrors of the energy imprints. That person is nothing. That person is only a mirror of your own template.
Right. So my question actually is that, like, for example, say if how do you know which karmic template is associated? For example, if I say abuse, or
So
yeah,
if you are facing a situation on the outside of abuse, The karmic template you work upon is the karmic template of abuse, power abuse within you.
All right.
The first acknowledgement to make is, I am the abuser.
Oh, okay.
And I can't say was, because life is one whole journey, right? So you may not be the abuser in this incarnation, but if that abuse is coming to you, it means, Tushita, you have been an abuser in a past incarnation.
Brilliant. Okay. And how do we know which layer, like, or maybe you're coming to that later, like which layer that
So,
you
as
described?
I said, I've given you all the layers, I've given you things, but you, as I said, I can't discuss and give you all that information. We will be here, I think, for 1 month.
Okay.
But when you are working with yourself, and if there is something you want to ask, yes, after these 2 days and after the third workshop, please feel free to WhatsApp me. And if there is an answer I don't know, I will certainly ask JF if he can give me the answer.
Understood.
Because I probably will not know the answer. Please understand, this information is very, very, very new for me as well.
Right, right. Yeah. And yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Shanaz, yes, you wanted to
Yes,
ask something.
yes. So, if I have a parent, if I'm talking about a parent-child relationship,
Yes.
where the child is aggressive
Yeah.
and there is a kind of abuse in the
Yeah.
relationship,
Yeah.
all this while I was thinking that I should work on the template of powerlessness.
Yes.
I'm not able to, was able to, kind of stand up and
Yeah.
talk with authenticity.
Yes.
But
Yes.
now, after hearing you, I understand that it is not a karmic template of powerlessness, but it is a karmic template of aggression which is present within me.
Shanaz, let me cut you here. Aggression is one face and powerlessness the other.
So there are two templates present?
No, it's the same template of aggression.
Okay.
So if I have powerlessness within me, where I cannot stand up for myself, in another lifetime, that has come out as aggression. Instead of working on developing my power, I worked upon aggressively using my power in order to feel powerful. So they are the two sides of the same coin. So whether you want to call it powerlessness, whether you want to call it aggression, it's the same template.
I see. Thank you.
Yes, Shiraz.
What would you say about betrayal? What is that template?
It is a template that JF has said almost every single human being has. There are a few templates that are universal. For example, the template of non-forgiveness is universal. We have to all work on it. It's a universal template. Even this betrayal is almost universal. There have been times we have betrayed others through our words, through our thoughts, through our actions, through our feelings, through anything that we've done, through our attitudes. So when it comes on the outside, we do not like to see it. And I have gone through this template myself, Shiraz. So I know how difficult that template of betrayal is. And JF is making me work, interestingly, not on the template of betrayal. He is making me work on the template of non-forgiveness. Because he says, if you work and eliminate your template of non-forgiveness, then you will not judge anything as betrayal or not betrayal. So
Very
he's
difficult
actually
to understand.
He's not making me work with betrayal. He's making me work with a much deeper template of non-forgiveness. Okay. So
I have one question, please.
Yes, sure.
So by that measure, if we are looking at anything externally that we're facing,
Yep.
it's always a mirror for what we have
It
either
is always a mirror
lifetime
of
or another.
of this life. See, this is another thing that I do not like now to answer this lifetime, another lifetime, because JF has said, why compartmentalize? Your soul is on a journey. Where is the question? Does it make it easier if it's this lifetime? Does it make it easier if it's a past lifetime? These are just labels that we give our brain, and they're such meaningless labels.
No, what I mean is to simplify it, because you said
There is no simplifying. The simplest thing is it is present in the soul. It is a karmic, it is an energy imprint in the soul. The soul is seeking to release this. That is the simplest explanation.
Got it.
Okay, should we continue? How does the soul attach itself? This was interesting, and I think it will be very interesting to those of you who are actually physical hands-on healers. I mean, even if you are a distant healer, it will still be very, very valid. The soul resides, yes, in that lattice work of energy that we have discussed. But the soul has to attach itself to the human body, right? The soul cannot be a free floating energy in the physical body. This is important because our physical bodies have matter, have denseness, have solidity. So the soul has to have certain points where it kind of holds on to the physical body, let us say. Just giving you a pictorial representation. JadeFire says these places where it holds on to the physical body are the entire neck area. So the nape of the neck and the neck, which is the throat area, I guess, but the neck is the most important one, the back. The shoulders, right? It attaches itself at the nape of the back. It attaches itself in the shoulders. It attaches itself in the upper abdominal area, where we have traditionally looked at as the solar plexus chakra. So it attaches itself at that point. It attaches itself in the lower back. It attaches itself in the lower abdomen, just below the navel. It attaches itself in the genitals area, whether you're man or woman. And it runs through the entire glandular system, through the entire endocrine system. The soul energy runs through the entire endocrine system. He made me see that if there are any issues with your glands, whether they are adrenal glands, thyroid glands, thymus glands, pineal or pituitary glands, where if you have an issue with your insulin, it means that your soul energy is burdened by the sheer weight of karmic templates that it is asking for your help to release. So I'm repeating again, the nape of the neck, a little bit of the throat, but mainly the nape of the neck, the shoulders, the solar plexus upper abdomen, which we have traditionally called the solar plexus chakra, the lower abdomen, which is below the navel, behind the lower back is again another spot. The genitals are another spot, and the entire endocrine system. That is how the soul attaches itself to the physical body. JF says, if any of these areas is giving you a problem, you know that your soul is calling out to you and saying, please release me from the energy imprints. I asked JF, why is the soul not attaching itself to the crown? I would have thought that that would have been the first spot. And JF says it is attaching itself there through the pineal and pituitary glands, but it keeps that area relatively free in order to receive the constant flow of higher realm energies. So it does not want that area to be clouded or burdened so that the energies will stop flowing. So those of you who are healers, whatever other areas of the body you're working with, you must work with these areas specifically. You must work with these areas specifically, because even if you don't work with any other part of the body and you work only with these areas that we have specified, you will be healing the entire physical body. But of course, remember, the physical body will not remain permanently healed. The inner child will not remain permanently healed because the karmic templates are still present. So you have to help those you are working with to release their karmic templates. I asked JF, why are all these energies, imprints, why are they in the chakric energy? Why are they not in the brain? My question came from the fact that we are all leading a physical life, right? Of course, we have our spiritual journeys, but our lives are primarily physical. And that one organ that influences everything in our physicality also influences our thoughts, also influences our feelings, is the brain. And I was curious why this energy was not stored in the brain. Well, if not only in the brain, why not stored in the brain as well? Why does the soul energy not primarily reside in the brain? And JF's answer was extremely interesting. And of course, I said, yes, that makes a lot of sense. Because JF said very simply, the brain is here only to hold memories of the current phase of your journey. It is not there for any other reason. Your brain holds no other memories. It holds only memories of the current phase of your journey. So it doesn't have the ability to hold energy imprints from any other incarnation. Its only focus is this incarnation. And as soon as this human body is dead, the brain is dead. He says the chakric energy, which is the soul energy, never dies. It never dies. It continually shifts. Remember that which we just discussed. Remember, your soul's energy vibrations are continually shifting, but it never dies. It never dies. Yes, yes.
So things like Ho'oponopono and Bach flower remedies specifically,
Yeah.
then resonate with the energies of the karmic templates that we are trying to heal?
So Ho'oponopono is the only thing JF says, is the only available healing modality available to us today. I mean, there could be another healing modality that universal consciousness may give to us later. But as stands today, Ho'oponopono is the only available modality that can actually eliminate the karmic templates. Nothing else, he says, can eliminate karmic templates. Nothing else can eliminate karmic templates. And that is why, Jogs, he has been using Ho'oponopono with me in an absolutely different way. in an absolutely different way, in a way I have never used Ho'oponopono in all my years. I have taught Ho'oponopono to so many people. I've never used it in this manner. So for me, it is a brilliant new learning even of Ho'oponopono, which I'm going to share with all of you all on November 2nd. Bach flower remedies. I actually asked JF about Bach flower remedies, and he said Bach flower remedies help you to eliminate the emotional overload, right? The karmic templates jokes are constantly emitting the emotional overload. Right? Let us say the karmic template of non-forgiveness. And the reason why I'm using that is because I'm working on it as of now.
So if you take Holly,
that's it. Exactly. So the emotional overload
brings
that
it into
comes from
balance.
that karmic template, if I take Holly, I'll be able to deal with that emotional overload. So it's a huge support system.
Yeah.
Bach flower is huge, but it's not, it can't work on the karmic template.
Yeah, but because there's an energy resonance with the emotional centers, then that which becomes overactive.
That's right.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, Jyoti.
Yeah. Hi, Ellie.
Hi.
If someone has the awareness, okay, they're feeling these emotions, or they are aware, but at the same time they're getting irritated with it. Like, for example, I'm doing something wrong to someone, or if I said something mean to someone, and I know that I'm being very mean, but at the same time I'm not able to control that emotion. Like, there is an awareness, at the same time it's like I feel helplessness or whatever. There's no control, and I'm still doing it. So, what it is actually?
Jyoti, you have described all of us. Okay, you have described all of us. Just because you are aware of something intelligently does not mean that you will immediately start putting it into practice. Unfortunately, that is not the truth. We should start putting things into practice immediately, but we are human beings, so we don't put things into practice immediately. This is an interesting one, Jyoti. I was going to come to it, but I'm going to skip it and come to it now because you have brought this up. JF says the soul talks to us cyclically. For me, this was quite an interesting statement. He says it talks to you cyclically. So it gives you information now and then stops giving you that information. It's like, for example, let's say, Jyoti, you spoke about meanness. It will give you information, Jyoti, you are being mean. Okay? Then it realizes Jyoti is not paying attention to that information. So it stops giving that information and moves on to something else, where Jyoti might pay attention to that something else. But remember, Jyoti has to still learn about her template of meanness. So after a little while, it will come back to Jyoti and say, okay, Jyoti, here is the template again. I'm bringing it again into your awareness. So it talks to you in cycles. But what happens, Jyoti, is every time the soul talks to us and we ignore it, and I want all of us to hear this, the soul talks to us louder the next time. JF says the soul first talks in a whisper. Then it talks as a nudge. Then it talks as a push. And then it talks as a shout. When the soul talks to you as a shout, there is a crisis in your life. The crisis will never come at the first level, ever. The soul always talks to you first in cycles of whisper, then in cycles of nudge, then in cycles of push, and then in cycles of shout, which is the crisis. So, Jyoti, now that you know it, all I can say is attempt even if it is just a little bit, even if it is just a little bit, attempt to get that awareness, even if the awareness is just for 2 minutes. Jyoti, even if the awareness for 2 minutes, you've got the awareness that you're being mean, just for 2 minutes, do the Ho'oponopono. If you don't know how to do anything else, just do the Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Keep repeating that for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, again, you might go back to being mean. But for those 2 minutes, you have addressed something the soul has told you. The soul will continually keep talking to you till you learn your lesson. Let us all not learn our lessons through crisis. Because when there is a crisis in our life, it means that eventually the soul is shouting. And the soul doesn't shout unless many years have passed between the whisper and the shout. Many years.
Yeah, I think I feel like I'm reaching that shouting level thing, because now what is happening is I am feeling irritated with myself only, because
Excellent.
like I keep getting angry and I know I shouldn't get angry, then again, and it's like a vicious cycle kind of
So
thing.
may I tell you
feel
what
so
I
stuck.
do, Jyoti? Because I have also got the karmic template of anger. And this is how I have worked. And I have really eliminated so much of it. As soon as I find that, oh gosh, I've shouted, mid-sentence, I stop, Jyoti, and immediately I start chanting in my head, Ho'oponopono. Immediately, wherever I am. And if you do this every single time, Jyoti, you will be able to see the difference in yourself. Aruna, you have written not even the Gayatri Mantra. No, Aruna, the Gayatri Mantra releases the feminine goddess within you. The Gayatri Mantra releases the divine radiance within you. It does not eliminate the karmic template. So remember, if there are karmic templates, the Gayatri Mantra will help you only to up to that degree, because it cannot give you a radiance greater than the karmic templates that you have. Yes, Nimisha.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Jyoti.
When
Yes.
you're saying that only Ho'oponopono helps with karmic templates,
yes,
what's the thought process about Akashic healings and Reiki healings in connection?
So I am not aware of that. I'm only telling you what JF has said, that at present there are no modalities. You can do the Akashic healing, but your Akashic healing will actually be more forceful if along with that you use Ho'oponopono, because Ho'oponopono is the only thing that has the energy to release karmic templates. Yes, Shenaz?
We just spoke about if I'm shouting or if I'm being mean to someone, I just close my eyes and do Ho'oponopono.
Yes.
What if it is the reverse? What if somebody else is shouting at you?
Absolutely do Ho'oponopono, Shenaz, because now you have the awareness that that person is your soul contract, that that person is the mirror of a karmic template. So immediately start doing Ho'oponopono.
And not respond, or of course reaction is out of question, but not
exactly.
respond.
No. You can respond to whatever. For example, I can do Ho'oponopono, but I may choose to walk away from that.
Okay.
Right? If that person is annoying me and I can feel the reaction, I'll start my Ho'oponopono. But I will also love myself and respect myself enough to walk away. I don't have to sit there and take disrespect. I don't have to sit there and be dishonored. I can choose to walk away.
Walk. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yes, Shireen.
Thank you, Elle.
Yeah,
I had a question related to what you were talking to Jyoti a while ago.
Yeah.
So can we say that our emotions would be one of the best navigation systems to basically what the soul wants to tell us?
Absolutely. 100%. You are absolutely right.
Why I'm asking this is because sometimes there is a confusion about whether this is the soul whispering or whether it's the ego talking. So just to give you a small example,
So now,
I have
Shri,
been
we don't need to make that distinction between the ego and the soul. Isn't that the joyous thing?
right.
Information. The ego is the soul's ally. So if the ego is acting, it's acting on the behest of the soul.
Right. Correct. Thank you so much.
Yes, Tushita.
So my question is that when doing Ho'oponopono, it's like, can we, number one, do we need to chant out loud or can we do it in our head, say if you're in a public space? Number two is like when you're doing it, for example, it's like right now, say you're in the presence or company of a person, or you're in an environment where you're feeling really triggered and you're feeling like all those karmic templates like act up, like powerlessness, you're feeling unsettled or whatever, and it's like the person, the situation. How do you do the Ho'oponopono? Like, they'll like
that person is there, that person is doing whatever they are doing. The first thing when we are doing Ho'oponopono, Tushita and Jyoti, is there can't be blame. If inwardly you are blaming that person and you are chanting the statements inside, those statements are useless, right? Because you are caught in that karmic template of blame. Then you should work on the karmic template of blame that resides within you. So there has to be no blame. There has to be that wisdom that this person is mirroring the karmic template I need to release. From that realization, the first thought that comes to me is gratitude. To say, thank you, right? I'm not in a position to hug you right now, but thank you. I recognize you as the mirror, right? Start the Ho'oponopono.
And we can say it in our mind?
Absolutely in your mind. And as I was just telling Shanaz, if you feel that that person is dishonoring you, undervaluing you, disrespecting you, you do not need. Ho'oponopono doesn't tell you sit there and take the abuse. It means it's telling you do not judge the abuser.
Right.
It doesn't tell you take the abuse. It says don't judge the abuser. So walk away. Respectfully walk away.
Right.
Continuing the Ho'oponopono in your mind.
And can one do it? Say, I know that, say tomorrow I'm going to have to attend a certain class or something where I will be faced with this. So I can say like, thank you for pointing it out to me that this is what I'm experiencing. Like, can I chant it like on
Start
the
from
way to
today.
work? Start
From today. So
Right.
that tomorrow is a good day.
And do we visualize something of the person?
Nothing. Ho'oponopono is only about removing your karmic templates.
So that's it. We just focus on the four statements.
That's it.
And just be at ease and chill.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Divya. We now come to a part of the download which I found fascinating. I mean, I just found it, actually, the whole thing is fascinating, but certain parts really just, oh my God, okay, that kind of reaction. This point was one of them. If we didn't have the soul residing within what we call the chakric system, if we didn't have this lattice work of energy within us, there would be no time and space. The concept of time and space that we have always learned is a man-made concept. It doesn't exist in the cosmic realm. We know that. You and I know that. But whenever I heard that time and space exists only in the human realm, somewhere I think I used to attach that to the intelligent awareness of time and space. So I was thinking of time and space as a mental construct, right? And JadeFire says it's not a mental construct at all. Time and space are energy constructs. They are the constructs of the soul. The soul, when it attaches itself like this to the physical body, creates the elements of time and space, because the human mind processes information in that manner. The human mind processes informations within the constructs of time and space. JF says if you had no time and space construct, while you are in the human body, you would not be able to receive any information, neither from the higher realms, nor from your own inner being, nor from others. The only way the human being takes in information, processes information, is if that information is within the boundaries of the time-space constructs. And the time-space constructs are created by the soul, not the brain, not the mind. Within this lattice work, within this network of energy, because the soul, this is interesting, the soul has memory. The soul has, not even the word memory is not right. The soul has awareness. The soul has awareness of all the various incarnations it has lived through. The soul has awareness of all the bodies that it has occupied, right? Which means the soul, out of that awareness, creates the time construct of the past. Then the soul has awareness of this body that it is currently attached to. In this way, the soul creates the time construct of the present. The soul is in constant connection to the higher soul. The higher soul is in constant connection to your divine soul. Your divine soul at no moment in time ever forgets its original soul blueprint. Now, what does that mean? We all have, I believe, two soul blueprints. One is the soul blueprint that we create when we are going to enter this new physical body. That is known as the current blueprint. But we all also have a blueprint that is known as the original blueprint. That moment when your divine soul energy separated, in a sense, separated from source in order to experience its own self, it had a purpose. And that purpose is held in the original soul blueprint. Your soul purpose, which we see when I create your soul blueprints for you, your soul purpose that we see in your current soul blueprint is that point that attaches your current soul blueprint to the original soul blueprint. Your original soul blueprint is constantly guiding every single blueprint that you create through every single incarnation. Because the soul is in direct contact, constant contact with the higher soul, which is in constant contact with the divine soul, the soul, which is the lattice work of energy attached to the physical body, has complete and full awareness of your original soul blueprint. So not only does this lattice work have awareness of your current soul blueprint, it has complete awareness of your original soul blueprint. Because it has original soul blueprint awareness, it creates the time construct of future. So in this way, the soul creates past, present, and future, and they do not live independently of each other. They all live as the same soul energy flowing through the lattice work, flowing through the physicality. This is how the soul creates time. But the soul also creates space. This I found very, very interesting, because every chakric zone, those horizontal bands, every chakric zone creates a very specific space. You see how the soul created past, present, and future? Now the soul creates spaces, and it creates specific spaces using the frequency vibrations of each zone. This was so fascinating for me. So the root, that zone which we will now call the root zone rather than the chakra, the root creates the space of physicality, right? The space of this and that. The sacral chakra zone, the sacral zone creates a space of empathy and connection. It creates the space of nurturance. It is actually, JF says, empathy and connection and nurturance are not only abstract concepts, they are actual space constructs that are connected by the chakric lattice work. The solar plexus creates the space of authority, of power, of control. The heart creates the space of unconditionality of love. The heart creates the space of blamelessness. The heart creates the space of joy. The heart creates the space of unity. Then we come to the throat zone. The throat zone creates the space of vibrational translation. This is what I have written. Very interesting term, which of course I asked, what does it mean? Vibrational translation. JF says, all vibrations that you receive from the outside and all vibrations that you emit from the inside are translated in this area before they either flood the entire chakric system or they are emitted outwards. So the throat region is where translation takes place. The vibrations are translated into actual energies. So if you hear a certain word and you hear it as a slur or an abuse, it's because this region is translating it for you according to certain karmic templates. The same word can be heard by two people. One will hear it in neutrality. One will hear it as abuse. The reason is the problem lies in the translation. The person who is hearing it as abuse, that energy, the energy of that word is being received by the karmic templates in the throat chakra and are being translated so that the person hears it as abuse. Now understand that this throat chakra plays a hugely important role. It translates energies for you in order for your karmic templates to be mirrored. It translates the words, the actions, the behaviors of others for you in such a way that your karmic templates will be mirrored. And at the same time, it translates your energies. Interesting. It translates your energies as per the intention you hold within. For me, that was a moment, blown. JF says, let's take the words, I love you. They sound amazing. You'll tell it to a person, that person will feel thrilled. The intention may be cheating, lies, betrayal, manipulation, agenda. The throat will translate the energy of that word and will emit it as that intention, which means what you draw to yourself in the very near future will be the energy of that intention that you hold within you. Interesting, very interesting for the throat. The third eye creates the space of understanding and acceptance. The crown creates the space of oneness. So all of these are actual spaces that are created within us. And our energies run through these time and space constructs, and that is how we live as human beings. I am going to stop this here. Of course, there's so much more, but we'll hopefully finish that tomorrow. But before we stop for today, anything you need. And I'd love to know from whoever is willing to share, what was your moment that blew your mind? So time and space is present within matter. This time and space is not present in matter at all. It's present in the karmic energy. Everything that physics has taught us
is all wrong.
Is not teaching us that.
Let's go back to the science teachers
and tell them all wrong, all wrong.
Rubbish y'all are talking. So yeah, so I think a lot of it was like, this makes a lot of sense and this is really how it should be. And yeah, this is interesting, but this time and space I had never even fathomed. Yeah.
For me, it was also really time and space. It was, it's so different from energy. We've never considered time and space in the realm of energy ever.
Yeah. And also the Ho'oponopono, I have great reverence and use for it. I do it constantly. But now you understand that, Dr. This one's going back to zero.
And that is the zero.
That is the
zero templates.
Yeah.
That is the zero that JF says is the actual zero, where there are zero templates. When there are zero templates, the soul awakens all the light bulbs that it has chosen to awaken.
Yeah. So like, it's literally like that, the Chinese light, which keeps going on and off. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not being judgmental, but the lights that we put on and it's not on, that's literally what. But when Dr. Hewland was explaining, it's so simple. Go back to simplicity, go back to the basics, go back to the zero. This is where it all comes together.
Yeah. This is where literally it comes together here. Absolutely. Yes, Tushita.
I think for me, number one is like, as you were explaining, I had like, oh my God, this is brand new. Like, what? But at the same time, I was like, yeah, it makes so much sense. Like, yeah, like it dispelled a lot of confusion. And especially, I think this whole aspect of like the karmic templates, which was like a very vague idea in my head. I think what I realized is so many years I have been in therapy. I learned Reiki and all that only for me to find out that the reason that permanency of relief that I've not been able to find is because this is what I need to address.
Yeah.
And on one hand, it brought me a lot of solace, and to know that the Ho'oponopono, I always underestimated it, I feel, because I was programmed to think differently, but I'm like, you can do this. And I think, Auntie, that moment where you mentioned that the minute you identify that this is what it is, this is the karmic template you're supposed to work on. And I like, and immediately the higher soul starts sending in to help that area, kind of like from contraction to expand. felt I felt so much relief to know that there is a way out of this jail that I've been stuck in. Just wanted to share that, yeah.
Absolutely, Tushita. Yes, Jyoti.
Yeah, so the whole session was amazing because this was a very new information for me that there are 9 layers.
Yeah.
And this I knew about 7 chakras, that's it. Like, but everything else was very new. And also, yeah, I resonated a lot with second, third, and fifth layer. I feel like they're like more prominent. And I was like, okay. So because sometimes I feel everything is okay in my life, but why do I feel so much of grief as if something is so lost? I was like, where it is coming from? And I used to feel like, could it be like in some past life something has happened? But yeah, but today after listening to you, I felt like, okay, maybe this is what I've. And another was like, I usually like awake at night, like, and always used to be in my like I have to ask forgiveness from the universe because I was like, pata nahi, I have hurt someone or what is, but I don't know whom to ask forgiveness per se. But always like, okay, I was like, I'll imagine, yeah, I'm saying sorry to universe, hoponopono to universe. And I feel like, okay, so I mean, after listening to you, I feel like, okay, probably this is I was actually supposed to do, and now I'm sure about it.
That's wonderful, Jyoti. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Shiraz.
Well, I think there were all aha moments during this entire session because everything was brand new, heavy energy to absorb. But I wanted to ask you one thing. Please explain this throat translation because I'll tell you, I was hit by vertigo all of a sudden 2-3 years ago. And till date, I still have this feeling of imbalance. Acute neck problems, acute problems in my jaw, in my SCM, in my nape of my neck, in my shoulders, and now I have developed a pain in the lower back. After 60 years, no pain in the back. Suddenly, one fine day, lower pain in the back.
First of all, I need you to heal those parts, knowing now that you are addressing the karmic templates, right? I will be talking a lot about the karmic templates tomorrow. Today, I just needed to explain the chakric system because it was so different. Tomorrow, I'll be talking a lot about the karmic templates, so it will make a lot more sense to you. But I need you to address these physical areas, knowing that your soul is reaching out to you and saying, please release these energy imprints. Please understand that pain in the body is just one step away from a shout. Okay, so the soul is already in stage 3 for you, which is the push. It's just one step away from the shout. You definitely never want your soul to shout. So you ask for the throat translation. I know it's a little bit confusing. Everything that we receive and everything that we emit, and we can receive it either, for example, me, whatever I am emitting to you, not by my words, The intention behind my words is coming to you, right? And that is when sometimes you talk to people and they'll say, I don't know why, but just talking to you has made me feel peaceful. What you have received is the intention of their words, not their words. Their words might have been just very casual, correct? Similarly, what you receive as words or actions or any other energy, because everything is energy, the entry point is through the throat. The throat organizes everything. Jokes, it made me remember Bach flower remedies, where Dr. Bach said, you and I could never understand why he talks of this as organization. For the first time, I said, oh my God, that is what Dr. Bach meant as center of
organization and of coming into the present.
Yeah, it organizes everything. Yeah. It takes in that energy and it runs it in through the chakric system. So it translates that energy for us. Now, how will it translate what we receive? It will translate through the karmic templates. So I may tell you, Shiraz, now don't ask this question. What I'm trying to say is, it's a simple question, don't ask it. Shiraz hears it as, Elle was very insulting. Now, there are two things that could have happened. Two things. Elle's intention could have been to insult you, which you have picked up. But what is more important for you, because JF says, never focus on what the other person is intending. That is their journey. What is more important is, if you've picked it up as insult, if you've picked it up and there is a hurt there, the throat has run it through a karmic template, which is yours. Pay attention to that rather than Elle actually meant to hurt me or actually meant to insult me. She may have meant to insult you, but then that is her journey. Right? The focus is only, JF's focus right now is, don't focus on other people, don't focus on other things, only focus inside on the karmic templates. Nothing is more important at this stage of evolution than the karmic templates. And JF says, the more we clear the karmic templates, the more bulbs go on in our soul energy. When there is a collective consciousness and so many bulbs are going on, the collective energy of earth changes. And by you working only on your karmic templates and doing nothing else, by you working only on your karmic templates, you are actually aiding the earth to evolve. We are shifting the energy matrix, not only of ourselves, but of the earth.
You are saying it's a shout. Don't wait for the shout. Because
don't wait for the shout.
Because I have realized I have a very big nodule on my thyroid. And the biopsy 2 years ago showed it to be benign. But now I think Vara Kudwadia says you might have to do it again. Who knows what is happening? Because the thyroid is not working.
Please start on the karmic templates. I want you to attend not only tomorrow, of course, but I definitely want you to attend November 2nd.
Yeah, because it's really shaken me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, everyone. So please remember, tomorrow we are going to meet at 4 o'clock, not 5, right? Tomorrow we are meeting at 4 o'clock. So please log in at the correct time. I will try to sit up at night and edit the video and put it up so that you get it first thing in the morning when you wake up. You can go to my YouTube channel and get it there. And when I put it up, I will also put up 2 other links. One is the link to the 9 sacred codes. And someone messaged me personally to say, what are the rays you are talking about? Because I mentioned Cosmic Ray 4 and Cosmic Ray 5. I will also put up a link to that. So if you want, not today, not tomorrow, whenever you want, you wish to see that link as well, you can understand what cosmic rays also are. So thank you all very, very, very much. Thank you. Thank you for attending. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you.